think we might be in the right place for a little bit of gold prospecting. Looking at the signs around here. Definitely looks like you can find a bit of gold around here maybe.
mate here. Your mate. A couple of bandits. Got my bandit mask on. COVID-19 bandit.
Son in Auckland, where we'd been for 3 years since arriving from Southampton. Once John got settled here, he sent for us, and by that stage we had a baby daughter as well. After arriving off the ship at Greymouth, we had to take a cargo boat up the river, then a canoe, before wading through waist-deep swamp carrying the children. It was quite an adventure just to get here. We were the only white family here when we arrived, and everybody made quite a fuss at the children. John is very handy with a surgical needle and can set a limb or two and bind up a wound. Folks call him Dr. Langdon, and as doctors are very scarce or very distant, John has a lot of...
Maybe they meant to all talk and just send them.
See, they do have that nozzle working sometimes.
Come back another day.
Gold is one of the things that gold is 20 times heavier than water, so it always sinks to the bottom. So the object of the exercise is to get the gold down to the bottom and get rid of the rubbish. When we've done that, we'll put it in there for you to take home.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Cool.
The other thing is that when you're panning for gold, never put your fingers into the water or the pan, because sometimes the oil in your skin will float the gold off. Okay. So
Yep.
Now the other thing is that if you ever come across something that size in your pan and it's yellow, it's mine. Drop it yesterday, okay? So the big thing is always hold the pan at a slight angle like that. Put a bit of water in there like that. Just do it 3 or 4 or 5 good shakes like that. So the idea is to run that gravel and gold down like that. When you just gently run that water off, but then that gives you the right angle to start getting rid of the gravel. So just gently dip that in there 2 or 3 times like that. This is for the washing process. A bit more water. The aim is to get rid of the gravel and just leave the black sand and the gravel behind. Leave the gold behind. Just gently, just like a washing process really. Do it like that. This area was worked in the 1860s, and apparently there's 2 young Australian chaps discovered they used deposit of black sand just on the outskirts of where Greymouth is now.
Oh, yeah.
The West Coast is only one of 3 or 4 places where you get black sand, gold washed onto the beaches with the black sand. And apparently them and 2 of their mates, 4 of them, worked it for about 6 or 8 months, and they got about today's equivalent of about $3.25 million worth of gold out of it, and went back to Australia and never went again.
Yeah, I bet.
So the big mine was shut in the 1950s at a place called Reefton. There's a place called Waiuta, which is an old ghost town now. That's one of the shafts collapsed after 50 years, and the shareholders closed it down. So it's this constant process of shaking it, running off, and see the gold start to appear around there. And it was the second deepest mine in New Zealand after the mountain. And now they've just put 2 1-kilometre long shafts down to where the mine finished, and they're going to start working it again this year. So
Okay.
as you go, see,
Yeah.
coming in, different stuff.
Yeah. So people still work the beaches for the black sand?
They do, yeah. People still do. Yeah, we'll see. Go make your fortune. There's this case of a bit of water. Yeah, so where you folks from?
Nelson.
Nelson, all right. Oh gosh, we did a rough time last week, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've been through, before we built our river wall, we once we've done that, just got to kind of gently run that water off, okay? So it gives you, and yeah, my wife went to King's Hotel, and they were flooded twice during the big flood before we put the seawall, river wall up. It's just unbelievable. It's gone
Yeah,
right
we
through.
were lucky that we weren't too bad. They slipped at the bottom of our road,
Gosh,
but
I got friends who are around in Nelson today. They're coming down they come down every year for that. We're heading out tonight to go whitebaiting at the Punakaiki, at the batch at Punakaiki. So,
Oh, okay.
and they come down and spend a couple of weeks at the big caravan. They park up at the campground. We go whitebaiting. So
Some white
whitebaiting
gold.
starts on Thursday, and guess what's coming Wednesday? Rain.
Oh,
Yeah, it's great. We've done that before, haven't we? A few times.
yeah, he goes
Yeah, a
most
uh,
little bit.
weekends.
Yeah, I've got a sluice box. There's a place called Goldsboro up here, which used to be owned, but it's now owned by the Department of Conservation. You can go and look for gold up there and have whatever.
yeah, we had a bit of a look there yesterday.
Mr.
Was
Ron
it, was it called Waimea?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
We had a look up there.
Yeah. there were Ron King, who was one of the great All Blacks captains, owned the hotel in Greymouth called King's, and he used to own all that property, and he used to take tourists up there and friends up there to go gold mining. And when Mrs. King his wife wanted to impress somebody at the hotel or had visitors, right, she'd come down with her gold nugget bracelet and gold nugget necklace.
Oh, yep. So did they get gold nuggets out of there? I've heard there's big flake.
You got your first nugget a few weeks ago, didn't you? You did. It was quite nice.
Yeah.
But not, wasn't that big. Like it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I go to
It's a bit like working down it's southwestern for many years. They lived off black sand. They had two brothers. In 1866, they took 16 tons of gold off the west coast in 1 year, which is a lot of gold.
yeah, go to Louis Creek and New Creek, but
Yeah.
being close to
There's a
the
man
house
who took it last year who was out prospecting and he had his metal detector in because he's probably looking for coins around the old. The man who took it had 112 hotels on the main street. And
You got quite a few little bits
That's
there.
right, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So when he picked up something, he dug down, it was a nugget, quite a good sized
Oh.
nugget. So he put it in the local paper. He didn't put a photograph. He just said, "I found this nugget. I'm going to sell it, but it's a good nugget." And apparently somebody in Christchurch paid $23,000 for it.
Wow.
Oh, that was a
Good
good
day.
nugget.
But he couldn't leave home for about a month because every time he went to go somewhere, the people were following him. But I think he must have been working around the Ross area somewhere. Look at that. How about that? Eh? We
It's pretty good.
Let's get rid of that nice bit of sand for me now. Yeah. Yeah, so
That's
Where
a lot
did you get
easier than
all
what
this
I'm used
from?
to.
Where have you got your
gold.
yeah?
Yeah,
Where have you,
we buy gold in here.
right.
Yeah, we buy it in. The gravel comes from the sand, the gravel in here has to be washed first to get rid of all impurities out of it. Then we
Yep.
put the gold in. Yeah, look at that. Wow.
Yeah, what I'm used to up at Louis Creek is half your pan's full of black sand.
Black sand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but you've got it all set up at home now. You can
Yeah,
do your.
good.
Yeah, normally have to take it home and
Yeah.
process it at home.
And you see these ones over here, a lot of the miners left here in the 60s. They went to Kamara, which is the last big gold rush on the west coast. And they, and the Chinese came through after that. There comes a lot of Chinese workers.
Yeah.
Oh, you was looking for one of these, weren't you?
What's that?
Oh, he wanted a new little bottle, so that's handy. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, always plenty there. Keep going for a while. You fill it up, you're good.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
sometimes
it'd
he
be nice
goes
to
with
fill
his
it up.
mates, so he ends up having to give his mates some. So he.
Yeah, last time I went out, broke my record. I was trying to get a gram and I got 1.7.
Gosh, that's all right.
And I didn't get up till 10:30. So,
I always tell people
so it was only half a day.
I always tell people when the sun comes out, take it out into the sunshine. Just see why people get fascinated by it. You know?
Yeah.
It's like fly fishing. Once you get up, I finished at the hospital after 49 years, and I retired. And my wife's my wife's father was here when they built Shanty Town, and she was the first woman on the board of directors. She's been as a voluntary thing for about the last 25 years, and she came home from a board meeting and said, "I found a job for you." I said, "What's that?" So I told me your father was a guard on the railway most of his life, and we're looking for a guard at Shanty. I said, no, I'm going gold prospecting, I'm going fishing. I said, go and talk to him, the Scottish chap over there.
Is it really popular over here, the gold panning?
Yeah.
Very good.
Some cool jewellery. Any nuggets there?
That's not bad price for the gold.